Let's look into the film. In this video, we're looking at Donovan Wilson, who got 74 solo tackles, and that put him in top 10 category among all safeties in the league, as well as he got 1 INT and 5 sacks. Donovan Wilson been that guy that when you turn on the tape, you see him. You see him making the necessary plays, and he is that guy. He is that assassin. We've been saying that all year long. Here he is with this sack. Just come off of his read here. He only allowed, even in coverage, 20 receptions, which put him at top 10 in the league with that category as well. Donovan Wilson is one of those guys that I truly believe, cerebral, get downfield. And on top of that, this dude is that impact type of player that you hard pressed to not have this man on the field, right? You got to have number 6 out there, and he brings that level of tenacity. He brings that level of impact, and he's been one of those guys that when you look at his tape, you see him flying around, rallying, chasing, getting downfield, and making those impactful plays, regardless of who the quarterback is out there. Donovan Wilson been that dude. Now, let's switch over and talk about Nahshon Wright, the big number 25 that's out there. Now, he's been put out there to be the outside corner. He had some struggle moments. Nevertheless, we can see that he come down and field, and he's one of those guys that I can tell you that more and more time out there on the field, you will see some of his traits, that 4.4 speed, that 6'4.5" frame. You see some of those things, that length, and he's rangy in a sense. He's a little stiff at the hips, right? Nevertheless, even on the outside play, this was a play he had to step out for injury. He's trying to make a play even on the sideline, still just trying to get in rhythm with everything, and I love seeing it. Watch him. That's him. He wasn't part of this play, but I just wanted to show you that this guy stay engaged with this particular team, and that's Izzy, number 24, who's another tall corner, by the way. Great job of playing overs on that play. But here's my thoughts on Nahshon Wright. I like his tackling ability. He's a willing tackler. Watch the DB slip. Watch Nahshon comes down and he hits full force right there. He hurt his shoulder, and he was eventually evaluated to come back into the game. All right, so we see right here the redirect is there. I love that aspect out of his game. He's long, he's lengthy. Watch, he put his hands inside, redirect just a little bit, stride for stride, and he stays in front, engaged. Look, he peeks back at the ball, and he's running for a spot of the ball. Remember, everyone have a right to the spot of the ball as he encountered at the top of his route, and he just looked for the ball right there, and he beats Treylon Burks to that spot. So that's physicality. You got to have that. Treylon Burks is a big physical wide receiver and a phenomenal rookie in my opinion. Nevertheless, you can't allow him to bully you. You got to phase in and make sure that you squeeze him towards the sideline. This is good technique right here. You see how he squeezes him toward the sideline here, fighting for the ball, and not just running around without technique here. Squeezes him to the sideline. That's what you want to do, and stopping him and shielding him away from getting to the ball. And as long as you're fighting for the ball, they would not call that. Now, here is my guy, Nahshon. He drops back. He pretty much goes into this phase of, I got to come down and field. Yes, this was a situation where they gave the underneath, and that's just how this play design is. But I want sure tacklers. I want wrap tacklers. I want to make sure that when I hit you, you can't bounce off me and get multiple more yards. So shout out to Nahshon in this particular moment. He was one of the tackling leaders in this game. I think he led all of the tackles in this game with 9. So when we see these type of things, we look back at Nahshon, and here he is falling back into the sink zone, and he's able to pick this ball off. User pick, baby. Get that ball in there. And he's keeping his eyes downfield. He playing zone response. So, and even though he is in that sink area, he got a safety help over the top, he's making sure that he is covering his spot on the field. And just a good pressure is everything too. You see how they squeeze number 11 out of the pocket, and Nahshon Wright was able to collect. So with that being said, Nahshon, 9 total tackles in this game, 6 solo tackles. That's the correct stat line there. And I truly believe that, yeah, the more time he's out there, the more value you would get out of his skill set. One other thing that I want you guys to pay attention to. Look, our edge rushers are getting upfield. We can see that. I think that the Cowboys went through a period of time with mobile quarterbacks, and that's been one of the issues with this team of not collecting sacks. And I'm not saying that those are the things that the Cowboys are allergic to. But another thing is we don't have any interior pressure. As we can look here, there's really interior presence of 0. And I think that what most of the times happen here is that our edge rushers do win. We do win on the edge, but the quarterbacks, when they look at film, they know to step up inside the pocket and then skirt and get off and run away. So that is where our major Achilles heel is at, is creating inside pressure. And teams know, hey, the Cowboys edge rushers, they can bend, they can get out, but we have no pressure inside. And that is a major issue for this team down the line. We need to create some type of pressure inside, and the only way the Cowboys been creating pressure from the interior is fabricating pressure with twist stunts and things like that, and that's not sustainable. And if a team gashes you while you try to twist stunt with the run, then it can be more of endangerment for your defense there. So we're going to have to fix up those things as well, alignments and assignments, small details of it, and we're going to have to correct those things. But nevertheless, shout out to Nahshon Wright for this INT. Just hard to fit that ball over the DB there because of his height and length. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute.